Hello and welcome to another edition of Hashtag Now Smoking. I'm Gary Korb, your host, Cigar Advisor, Executive Editor, and I am with Cigar Advisor Managing Editor John Pulo once again.
Thank you, sir.
And we are going to be smoking a really, really special one today. This is the Crowned Heads Full Court Press Limited Edition 2019 Box Press Cigar.
Brought me in for the special stuff. I appreciate you.
Yes, I did.
Thank you for doing that. That's nice.
That's right. And this is a really good looking cigar, and it has one of my favorite wrappers on it, Mexican San Andreas.
Oh, yeah.
And it
smells nice, too.
Really dark. It's very smooth. Not a little toothy, but it's smooth. There's no veins in terms of that. And it's beautifully capped. It's little Crowned Heads secondary band at the bottom. And this is the Full Court Press 18, actually, if you look at the Roman numerals. And this was made for the company's most loyal fans. And we're going to get more into why they did that.
Okay, because that leaves me with questions.
Yes.
So, and I'm assuming at some point you'll also tell me what makes this different than the regular Court Reserve.
Yes, I will. Be patient.
All right, I look forward to that. That's hard for me.
We've got a beautiful San Andreas wrapper. The cap looks really nice. I'm going to cut it. It feels really good. Let's see how the draw is on mine. Well, first
I already know the answer.
It's a little firm, but it's good. What are you getting? Is it more on the loose side?
No, it's a little bit of resistance.
Yeah.
Flavor-wise, it's a little bit sweet.
Yep, and nutty maybe?
I could be pushed to say yes.
Okay.
But kind of like a sweet fermented tobacco, almost bordering on like a sweet, not quite citrus, but it's kind of got that tangy.
Yeah. There is a little hint of that in here, so. And let's light it up.
And sure, nutty. I'll go with nutty.
Okay. It's beautiful packaging, by the way, too, and we'll get all into that. But. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I like that.
Like a yeah?
The draw is really good in terms of giving me the right amount of smoke. So it was, like I said, a little firm, but good in a good way. Oh yeah, I'm getting that sweetness. How about you?
It's earthy.
Yeah.
Now, is that the wrapper? Why don't we talk a little bit about San Andreas? Because you said it's your favorite, so you could probably write masterclass on it. What is the ideal, or what is the basic profile of a San Andreas leaf?
San Andreas, well,
especially in a Maduro.
In the Maduro, which is the one I like, and it's used on a lot of cigars, but not everybody gets it right, or they get a good batch, I guess. I don't know. I mean, some are better than others. This one's a good one, but the taste is kind of it's sweet. It's got a sweetness to it, and that's basically it. It's also thicker. It's got a nice thickness to it.
Yeah.
And
should I expect spice from San Andreas Maduro?
Just a little bit. Of course, it depends on how it was cured and fermented.
Okay.
So, and of course, aged as well. So, I think that what I look for in a San Andreas wrapper is something that burns well, has a little bit of spice in it, because non-Maduro San Andreas is very spicy.
Okay.
Okay, but the Maduro, for some reason, it just brings those sugars out, and I like it sweet. I like sweet cigars, and I think most of the people who watch every week kind of know that by now.
Okay.
So.
Very good. All right. So that a little bit of that sweetness. I've found earthiness.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of pepper that's in there in the beginning.
Okay, I'm not getting pepper, but all right.
Charred wood. I mean, that could,
that
could be a function of just these first couple puffs. And,
some woody notes.
It's kind of settling in before it really starts to, kind of caramelize and start burning and whatever. But
all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just kick back with it a little bit and see what happens when we get more into Act 1. Okay. I am really digging this cigar, and I will say that this draw is absolutely perfect for this volume of smoke.
There's plenty of it. There's still a little bit of resistance. And you know what? You know how we said it was a little bit sweet? It's like really sweet now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. And it was kind of bordering on that citrusy kind of, it's like full tilt, full time for me right now on that, along with some of those earthier flavors that are still there. That wood flavor has kind of really settled in. So a nice Bit of complexity, just even this little bit in, not even an inch in. But it's really taken some interesting shapes of flavors right out of the gate here.
I agree, and I'm getting sort of like what I call like a sweet wood, and still some of that nuttiness, but I'm getting that kind of what I'm calling an orange, citrusy, like an orangey note. That's the only way I could describe it.
It's what it is. It's almost like on the borderline of salty, because what it's doing is it's like activating some of the taste buds on the sides of your tongue and in the back of your mouth, and it's kind of making your mouth water a little bit. So it's not that usual citrusy, kind of like if you were to peel an orange kind of sensation, but there's this extra little something to it that's getting your mouth to water.
Exactly, and I got to tell you, the ash, well, you haven't ashed yours yet. I did, and it's leaving a beautiful cone, which I like. I like that a lot. And, this cigar is box pressed.
Yes.
But it's not a sharp box press, like a trunk press.
It's kind of like an oval press, I guess.
It's a little more rounded edges, but I really love the shape of it. I really like everything. Let's talk about the cigar a little bit. This is the Crowned Heads Full Court Press LE 2019. The size is a 5 7/8 inches by 52 ring. It's basically a full strength. I don't think it's gotten to full yet, but it's kind of like medium plus right now. The wrapper's Mexican San Andreas Maduro. The binder is Ecuadorian, and the filler is Nicaraguan. All right. And
where is this made?
It is made at Tabacalera La Alianza by our good friend Ernesto Perez-Carrillo.
Oh, so this is an APC made.
Yes, it is.
Crowned Heads cigar. Okay.
It is really, really nice, and we love Ernesto's stuff. And one thing about Crowned Heads, it's headed by Mike Condor, Jon Huber.
Yes.
And they are really, really tight with their fan base. They communicate constantly, and they're really up on this kind of stuff. And they actually made this for their most loyal fans. And
made this for them, like
they like to do things for their fans. So they said, let's do something special for them. We've got our main lines.
Most people send a card. Put something on Twitter. Hey, thanks.
But they make you a cigar.
They say, no, you know what? We're going to make you guys a cigar.
That's right. Because Huber's like that.
He is like that.
So anyway, it says here that it's rolled with the same tobacco blend as the original Crowned Heads Court Reserve 18. Okay. It comes in 12-count boxes.
Yeah.
And there's only this one size, and there only 1,700 boxes were released. So it's a limited edition. That's what the LE stands for. And Huber said, the idea came to me in May last year during the NBA playoffs. He says, initially I tossed the name out there, like somewhat like a corny double entendre, he says. But the more I thought about it, the more I liked the idea of releasing a box press expression of our CHC Reserve. Once I spoke the sample, it was a no-brainer. So Ernesto got it right.
Well, you think about it, though. I mean, you take a look at some of those cigars that he's box pressed to great effect. The Encore has a soft box pressing. That was #1 cigar of the year in 2018.
Astoria too?
La Astoria has a soft box press to it. I mean, those are the two top tier smokes in the EP Korea lineup. So, I mean, obviously he's got the technique down pat. So you start putting it on, something that, what was interesting is, when we reviewed this for our Crowned Heads guide on cigaradvisor.com, it was you who reviewed the original blend of the Court Reserve.
That's right. And holding back.
You called it the chart topper. Out of all the dozen or 15 or so cigars that we smoked over the course of reviewing the entire lineup from Crowned Heads, but this one was the chart topper.
Yeah.
You said.
So this is a great blend.
Tell me why. What would have caused you to say that this one is, because we talked about it being refined and complex. We talked about it having all these different flavors. What else puts it at the top?
Well, there's some cigars that I call a perfect cigar.
Okay.
Perfect cigar, and this is an example of a perfect cigar. First of all, the draw is good, or pretty much perfect. The burn is pretty much perfect. The flavors are well balanced. I'm getting the flavors that I like personally out of it, and it's just really enjoyable. I mean, it's got everything that I would love to see in every cigar I smoke.
Now that's interesting, because there are plenty of people who would say, but I don't do box press cigars, so how could it be the perfect cigar? So let's talk a little bit about box press.
Do you think they smoke better, or or just differently?
I
Or
think they smoke better. I think they smoke different. I think better is obviously subjective.
Yeah.
Better insofar as there are some blends that I have found smoke better in a squared off format like this. I think the burn is a little bit different. There is less tobacco in a box press cigar,
right.
but only 15% or so. According to Ernesto Perez-Carrillo, so don't get angry at me because you might have heard otherwise. But it's you sometimes will find it does smoke a little faster, depending on the cigar. But somehow, you know how a larger ring will smoke cooler?
Sure.
Because there's more filler. For some reason, I have found, and it's completely anecdotal evidence, that a box press cigar for me smokes cooler. It may smoke a little faster.
And I'll tell you, though, I'm writing an article right now on box press cigars, as you know, because you assigned it.
Wow.
But I noticed that in a lot of the Toro sizes, that you said they use a little less tobacco.
Yes.
But for some reason, they seem to be rolled a little wider. They seem to be more like a 52 as opposed to a 50 or 54. So I'm wondering if they make up for it in width.
Well, I look forward to seeing the results in your article when you finish with it.
All right. Well, anyway.
Box press cigars recommended by Gary Korb at cigaradvisor.com.
All right. Well, anyway, this Act 1 has been really great. Let's see what happens when we get to Act 2. All right, John, it's time for Act 2. And look who showed up. Old Forester.
Well, you know what? It's the bottle. Let's just say, we've been talking about some different things that maybe we should try to pair with this.
Yes, absolutely.
And you know what? I should let's pull this out and see what it does. Let's break out the Old Forester. This is the 100 proof. So yeah, it's a little bit of high test, but I thought, you know what? Some of those, the flavor. I mean, let's talk a little bit about the flavor and why we chose this to go with it. What would you describe what you're sensing into Act 2 right now?
Well, first of all, this burn is phenomenal. Look at this ash, right? I mean,
It just doesn't.
I'm going to let it. I'm not a long ash guy, but I had to show that.
It doesn't want to give you up.
I'm telling you, it's really firm when you try to break it off. I'm getting a little more earthiness and a little more body, and I thought the sweetness was kind of dying, but you know what I noticed, John? If you let the smoke linger in your mouth a little bit longer, the sweetness tends to come through. And I don't know what the Old Forester's going to do. I've never had Old Forester. This is a first for me. So, have you had it?
So, it's been a while, but being a bourbon, some of that inherent sweetness that comes with that kind of a drink.
Okay.
But the flavors here, I'm sensing. We talked about this being so refined, and if I were to visualize the flavor of the cigar right now here in the second act, some of that sweetness has gone away. Yes, you'll find it as you chew the smoke or roll it around in your mouth. Visualize it as kind of like a ball of flavor. It's gotten very round, very full, and the outside of the ball is very velvety. So it's velvety flavors, very kind of almost plush tasting, softer. Like there's no hard edges to the flavor. It's nice, round, fuller in flavor, and I think it's going to go nicely with a bourbon.
Well, I hope you're right.
So what happens when you nose it?
Okay.
Yeah, there's some of that alcohol bite in there. Being a higher proof.
It's sort of changing the flavor of the whiskey that's left in my mouth.
A lot of that sweetness.
That's kind of softening it almost.
Yeah, so again, that velvet grows about another half inch.
Yeah.
But really so it's a fuzzier kind of taste, but that sweetness has really started to show itself again.
Okay.
By combination of the drink and the cigar, that sweetness that we thought was starting to go away is really starting to bring itself back.
Really? Well, let me try it just one more time, because...
Interesting when you retrohale it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but I think a lot of that, even though it's kind of like that...
I just got it now. There's a little pop of sweetness.
Here it is.
After I, swallowed it there.
Right.
So... It's definitely... This is interesting. I've never had a whiskey that tasted like this. it's a little hot, in terms of alcohol content. But
I wish I remember where it came from, but it was, it's kind of rooting around like
it just showed up.
it was just like,
So thumbs up for the Old Forester.
Oh yeah,
It's a good mix.
This box and bottle may not last to the end of the day.
All right, well, let's see what happens when we get down to Act 3. All right, here we go. We're in Act 3 with Jon Huber, managing editor of CigarAdvisor.com.
Coming down the home stretch, baby.
Yes, we are. And I got another beautiful ash on the cigar. It's just burning perfectly. It's hitting on all cylinders, as they say. And I'm back to the coffee.
Something richer like that Old Forester might be hit or miss.
Yeah.
A great standby to pair with a Maduro is any kind of an aged rum.
Oh yeah, I love aged rum. Yeah.
So I think if for some reason that you go ahead and you say maybe a higher proof bourbon like this that we tried, if that's not your cup of tea, go with aged rum. It's a combination that with Maduro, especially the San Andreas Maduro, that you can't really lose.
Dark aged rum.
Yes.
What are you getting in terms of flavor at this point?
So the sweetness is back all on its own.
Yeah.
Some of that nuttiness is still there. That the earth has kind of fallen. The earthiness has fallen way to the background.
Really?
It's woodier.
Yes, it's definitely woodier.
And that's primarily the big. But again, it's very very lush, very full, very well rounded, very refined.
I'm glad you said that because the way I could describe this at this point, it's like imagine like a crew team. Everyone's rowing together. They're all the flavors are just kind of, wow. They're all like a nice ball.
Sweet spot.
Yeah, it's just really, really nice. I'm really loving it. And would you say this is a full-bodied cigar?
For sure. When we started, we weren't sure.
Right. It started off kind of medium.
But once you're here, once you're coming down this last bit towards what we'll call Act 3, the body is there for sure. The strength has caught up. I think this is a full cigar.
Yeah, and the draws open up too for me a little bit more, so it's really drawing. And the volume of smoke, everything about the cigar has been absolutely right on.
Nice.
And let me ask you a question about strong cigars.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know if you would consider this a strong cigar. It's definitely full. Why do you think there are so many cigar smokers who just only smoke strong cigars, full-bodied cigars?
I enjoy a fuller-bodied cigar because, in all seriousness, I think people who do that have trained their palate to expect more from a cigar. They want fuller flavors.
Right.
They want more intensity. They want more complexity. And something like a simple blend that's maybe got some mellow tobaccos and is a Connecticut, it's got one or two flavors. It's nice, it's creamy, it's easygoing. But if you really want something that's going to, not shock the palate or shock the taste buds, but just go, give you that reaction that you're getting off of this cigar today, is you're saying to yourself, wow. It's just that it's a more soothing, more satisfying experience because it's just more robust. It's hitting all parts of your palate. Blenders call it palate stimulation.
All right. So anyway, I don't think we talked about the price of the cigar. It's actually $11.95 retail. So it's a $12 cigar
for a limited edition. That's pretty good.
And it's this is definitely a $12 cigar. There's no doubt about it. And anyway, final thoughts.
It's a shame there aren't more of them.
That's all 1,700 boxes. That's it.
That's it. Wow.
And
we got to talk to somebody about it.
And they will sell fast because I'm
more.
telling you, the guys at Crowned Heads, John and Mike, and of course Ernesto did a phenomenal job on the cigar. And they do move fast because they have a very loyal fan base. And I think the fans got something really good this time. I really do. I think they're well deserving of it.
Well, and if you're into Crowned Heads, do not miss out on this one. The limited edition
Full Court Press.
Full Court Press.
LE 2019.
Great cigar.
And it's fantastic. And they call it Full Court Press because it is box pressed. So remember that you can buy this cigar at famous-smoke.com, and all Crowned Heads cigars are sold at famous-smoke.com. And remember to follow CigarAdvisor.com if you want to learn more about cigars, information, reviews. We do fan mail. We answer people's questions. So be sure to do that. Sign up for our email list. And make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you sign up for our YouTube videos and emails and notifications. So Click that little bell so you get the notification. And John, thanks again for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is a good
You
smoke,
always have
dude.
a lot to say, and it's always good.
I've been told this.
It's very educational.
I have lots of words.
And
Lots of words to use.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I really, truly enjoyed this cigar. So kudos again to the folks at Crowned Heads and Ernesto Perez-Carrillo. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on #NowSmoking. Happy smokes.